Hello everyone! Today on stream I checked out the cinematics that they released for Blizzcon again. I gave a bit of my feedback, my speculation, my opinion on things, and seeing how many people really love reaction videos. Here's the highlight of that. I hope you enjoy, have a great weekend! Until next time guys, see ya! The quality of this cinematic. Oh my god, look at his face!
Of the soldiers.
Look at his
We'll be
eyes!
calling up farmers next.
Look at his facial hair!
When this war began, I thought we were fighting for peace. But we're just fighting.
You're doing all you can.
He has a little scruffy going on! He's so cute! Grr, and he's so angry! And one day I'll remember that he's now king. I keep calling him Prince Anduin. I should call him King Anduin, it's just, you know, transitions are difficult. I think he's like 17, something like that. Hello, Sourfang.
At Lordaeron, you had the chance to take my life. Maybe even end the war.
Yeah, 17, 18. He turned 18 in Battle for Ezreal, but there you go. Just look at... so good!
Why didn't you kill me?
Because I love you, Anduin.
Could kill you now.
I spared you because I believed you have honor. Was I wrong? Do you want more innocents to suffer? The Horde...
I have given everything for the Horde! Bled for it, killed for it, and Sylvanas is destroying it! She will destroy everything. What I want is my Horde back.
I want you, Anduin.
Saurfang, tell me why you spared my life.
I hoped you would stop her.
I can't.
You can't? What?
Not alone.
So freaking good. Who was that? Epic Yeti, thank you very much for the 3 months in a row. And a proper love right there. So yeah, some have been asking like, can you do like a reaction to this? I mean, I'm blown away. I am blown away with how much the cinematic department of Blizzard Entertainment keep on pushing the ante. Every single time, and I'm like, well, we've reached like a ceiling. There's no way that it could go better than this. They're like, ah, you think so? We could do better. We could do way better. If they would make a movie, if they would make a Netflix series, a Saturday morning cartoon, all my money. I would send all my money their way. And the story that we see here is Saurfang, during the Warforged campaign, actually agreed with Sylvanas' mindset of the warfare. She argued, we might be able to break peace with Anduin, but how long would that peace last? 10 years, 50 years? What if we wipe out our enemy and secure peace forever? He agreed with those, with that mindset, which then of course flowed into the Darkshore campaign, in which we saw Saurfang unwilling to take the killing shot of Malfurion. It went against his code of honor, and Sylvanas foolishly walked away. To that end, she decided to burn down Teldrassil. Killing Malfurion was supposed to inflict such a wound upon the Night Elves, it would bleed the Alliance dry from within, or bleed them out even. So she decided in that moment to burn down Teldrassil, which then flowed into what we see today. In the Siege of Lordaeron, Saurfang was already ready to step away from the Horde. He was going to get his glorious death in battle by challenging the Alliance army by himself. But he then runs into Zeppy Boy, and Zeppy Boy convinces him that, you know, The Horde's all they got. The Horde is family, and Saurfang could not step away from it. But then the whole Siege of Lordaeron plays out, in which Sylvanas used tactics like the blight upon her own people, resin the dead. Saurfang is like, what the hell, man? What the hell are you doing to the Horde? So yeah, in the courtyards, the face-off between Saurfang and Anduin and the Alliance, Saurfang is not killed in that moment. He's actually imprisoned. Okay, this is a bit of a derpy face. To which we see him in the stockades, and we knew from the next patch that Saurfang was going to break out and do his things, and now we know how he broke out. Anduin actually sets him free with the idea of maybe together we can actually stop Sylvanas, maybe together we can actually save your Horde, right? And there's a lot to be said about that. I find it really interesting to see how people are warming up to the idea of Sylvanas' vision to the Horde rather than the old school vision of the Horde when it comes to Saurfang. I personally agree that there's a lot of hammering on honor. Where do you draw the line, right? You're okay with invading Darkshore, but you're not okay with actually killing Malfurion, even though that was your whole mission. Sylvanas stepping away from the kill and letting Saurfang take care of it. Like, really? Why? Yeah, there's a lot to be said about that. And it's going to be up to people to decide for themselves. Like, do they see Saurfang as a traitor, now that he is willing to stand against his war chief? Or do they see him as a hero, similar to how Vol'jin was with the Darkspear Rebellion? Speaking of the Darkspear Rebellion, there are, of course, a lot of similarities between Mr. Pandaria's storyline and what we see right now. You know, there's the siege coming up. There is the Zalatov, which might be actually the claw of Yashiraj compared to the heart of Yashiraj. There is Vol'jin, who is now Saurfang, rising up against the war chief, not being down with their plans. A massive cataclysmic event, the burning of Teldrassil and the bombing of Faramir. There's a whole lot of things that are similar and comparable when it comes to the Garrosh storyline. They have said that we were not going to get another Garrosh storyline, but then again, if they decide to, for example, have Sylvanas sacrifice herself rather than we kick her out the Mantle of War Chief, then technically speaking, it's not another Garrosh storyline. But yeah, I can definitely agree with the mindset of, haven't we done this before? Haven't we seen the storyline before where the identity of the Horde is questioned? And where are we going to take this? I would personally be very surprised if they actually make the decision to kill off Sylvanas in the way of that they've done with Garrosh. I'd be very surprised. I think personally, like a self-sacrifice, dying for the greater good, learning that there are certain things worth dying for. That would be my vision when it comes to Sylvanas, but maybe that's just, you know, wishful thinking. Maybe we really are going to kick her out of the Mantle of War Chief. I do not know. Yeah, and you can see it in the chat room right now as well. Unfortunately on the YouTube you won't be able to see the chat room. But there's actually quite a bit of debate. Like, is Saurfang a traitor or is he a hero? It's interesting. It's really interesting to see how that divide is there in the player base. How people do not agree with what Saurfang is doing. Yeah, it's interesting. So that is Lost Honor. And again, you know, I can keep on gushing about how beautiful the quality is. Then we also had, oh god, what was that called? There we go.
All of it?
The entire shipment, down to the last sack of
She
grain.
sounds like Zayla to me, by the way.
This one's the only survivor.
One Samdi, do not take me yet.
What happened?
We were bringing supplies to the war front, just like all the other times.
Pick up the pace! We got to get these supplies to our soldiers by dawn!
Uh-oh.
What is it?
Look at that blood elf be scared as shit. Like, ooh, what is it? It's an owl. Oh, I'm so scared. And you're dead. And you're dead. And you're dead. Everybody dies. This moment. Where he's like, oh, yes! So good.
Tell her. We are coming.
One Sunday. Do not take me yet.
He expects us to believe this tale. No single night elf could do all that.
I know one who could.
Uh-oh. They're coming. Oh, Taronda. You look so good.
We will hold this ground for the Horde.
And it's this shot as well with the Loon Moon from the Ysera cinematic and then the completely burned out Teldrassil. Oh, it's so gorgeous. So what do we see here? This is pretty much the introduction cinematic for 8.1. I don't know if this is the official one, but it does tell a portion of the story that we see in there. You might remember how Teldrassil burned. You might remember how the Night Elves, as described in the books like a genocide, the Night Elves are done being the beaten dogs. They are done getting their asses kicked. In the next patch, spoilers of course, but you know, you're watching a BlizzCon video, Taronda is going to go into a ritual. She's going to embrace the Night Warrior, I think it's called. Like the dark side of the moon, right? The vengeance of a loon. And, yeah. They're done, man. They're ready to go and kick some ass. Whereas Malfurion finally gets to display what an actual Archdruid can do. Like what he does here, right? Pulling his victim underground and shit like that. That's nothing new. It's a little bit more vicious, but it's nothing new of his powers that he can do. But it's finally displayed in game, whereas in the past we saw, Taronda, where are you, my love? Taronda, I can't find you. You know, and then hush, Taronda, patience, Taronda. Finally, they get to kick some ass, and I'm so happy to see it. And I'll be over the moon if it actually displayed in game as well. As you know, I don't really play through the PTR. I like to be surprised when the patches hit. But I do know a little bit about the data mine information. And I really hope that we're going to see a badass Malfurion and Taronda in-game as well. That is not just in the cinematic, but that they actually, you know, they rise up and kick some ass. I don't know who the orc is. I know that she sounds like Warlord Zayla, but that's just a voice actress. I don't know if it's a specific named orc. I also saw somebody wonder if Navanos is like controlled by N'Zoth because his eyes turn red, but I think that's more of a visual thing to represent like, oh shit, things going down, rather than a control by N'Zoth. It's an orc from Good War.
Do not take me yet.
Alright.
What happened?
We
Yeah,
were bringing
I also
supplies
thought
to
like the
Warfront,
eyes were, you know, red.
just like all
But
the
they like
other
flare up,
times.
so...
Pick up the pace. We got to get these supplies to our soldiers.
It's the orc mum from A Good War. Is that the one who got drunk and nearly got into sex with a Tauren? Was that Good War? Or was that Before the Storm? No, that was Before the Storm. Who was the orc mum in Good War? And the troll has shoes, yeah man.
Just by
Blasphemy.
dawn.
And Navanos saying For the Horde was more than just For the Forsaken. I mean, they did at BlizzCon mention Sylvanas' war campaign, not the Horde war campaign, so there's also that to consider. Ooh, I'm so scared! Brrrr. Yoink! That scream, by the way. It goes into a that's great, man. Yeah, delicious little cinematic. I do feel, and I don't know if that comes across to anybody else, it does feel like a lot of Alliance stuff was talking about. But then again, I don't know, maybe that's something that they're waiting for in-game, because there are quite a few plot lines that they still need to work on. Do I want to spoil that? Like Proudmoore, for example, the resurrection and whatnot, and they didn't really touch upon that but I think that's more like a minor thing rather than the grand scheme of things of this is coming in 8.1. But it did feel very Alliance-centric. But maybe that's because we just did the Burning of Teldrassil. Oh, we also did the Siege... whatever. Whatever. He's definitely Malfurion. Ha! New Warga models? Yeah, man.